accusing you of that you've now
Affairs
done?
over years.
Okay, so you were guilty of what she had always accused you of, now you were.
Yes.
So she had accused you of seeing people non-sexually, and now you were?
Yes.
Because it seemed like she had accused you of seeing people sexually, and now you were. It seemed like the context of it would be that she was accusing you of being
I'm
sexually
not much of a
involved.
ladies' man, Dr. Phil. You know, I'm middle-aged, don't have a whole lot going, but think what you will.
Okay. So you were having an affair with her, whether you call it emotional or physical or whatever. You were in an inappropriate relationship with this woman.
Yes, I was.
So what you said to me earlier would not be accurate. What you said to police was accurate. Well, I understand your dilemma. You're trying to decide right now whether you want to admit lying to the police or to me, and that is a dilemma, but you need to make a decision.
Well, I guess I lied to you.
I think so. All right. That's your better choice, I would think, given, coming up, Kelly says Nancy and Christine want to see him dead. He believes they even hired someone to have him killed. We're going to ask them about that, and they do now get to talk when we come back.
January 8th, I was at my girlfriend's house, and Lori came out and said she had to go to the bank. About 2 minutes after she left, there was 2 kids walking down the driveway. They asked me for gas, and I decided, well, yeah, I'd give them some gas. Walked in the garage. Here's the gas can. I picked it up, started to say, "You're in luck, there's gas." They splashed the stuff in my face. I went to chase them. I dropped the gas can. When I got outside, I realized there was something caustic on my face. I went inside to flush it. When help showed up, they said it was hot chocolate. Hot chocolate would not do this to your face. If I hadn't gone to the hospital, I would have died, and they shipped me right to Westchester Medical Center burn unit because it was a burn, chemical burn. And I think Nancy paid some little schmuck $500, is my take, to come up here and splash me. Nancy, Christine, leave me the alone. You should be in a penitentiary for attempted murder.
Now, Kelly believes Nancy was the mastermind behind the attack that happened just a few weeks ago. Now, Kelly says if this happens again, he's ready to retaliate. Take a look.
I'm being harassed daily, and it's not going to stop until I'm dead. Whether I'm here or at Lori's, I have a loaded shotgun within arm's length.
Yeah, here's a 30-30. I just have this in case somebody wants to come in and just you know, I'm not going to go down without a fight.
If they come in, I'm sending them back out in a body bag. They've already made an attempt on my life. What's next?
Do you two want him dead?
No.
I know I want
You
him in
just shook your head
prison.
yes.
I don't want him dead. I don't. I wish every day for a drunken one-man motorcycle accident into a telephone pole, and I want him in a nursing home to suffer for the rest of his life thinking about our Margaret and what he did to her.
That'll work.
That's what I want.
That'll work.
I'll take
That's what I want. I don't wish death on him. And I had nothing to do with this so-called acid caustic solution attack on him whatsoever.
Did you?
No.
We asked you to take a polygraph about that. What did you say?
I said absolutely not. I am not here for his pity party.
He didn't ask for it, I
passed
did.
2
No.
lie detector tests.
If the police thought I was involved, let them contact me. From what I understand, this caustic solution, hot chocolate, whatever, if there was something thrown in his face, I think there would be some more injuries. I personally think maybe he was siphoning gas and he screwed up.
You two fully believe that he killed his wife.
100%.
More than anything.
Are you two now harassing him, trying to get him to make a mistake, trying to get him to break, trying to get him to do something that will be incriminating?
Absolutely
So you
not.
didn't put up a Facebook page?
Absolutely. That has nothing to do with you. That has to do with Margaret and domestic violence.
Did you write on
There
his
is no
mailbox,
domestic
a
violence.
murderer lives here?
No.
I've not heard you guys say anything that suggests that you have any evidence whatsoever that he killed her. I mean, I've seen you evoke from him some rude responses.
Yes.
But I haven't heard you say anything that connects him to her death.
After Margaret's death, that night, after midnight, his girlfriend was at the house that night. The next day,
Negative.
12 hours later, 14 hours later, here comes Margaret's car being driven out. Here comes his truck with Margaret's furniture on it, driven out down the road, put on the girlfriend's lawn for the yard sale. This is the next day.
I got rid of everything.
Then, this is the next day.
Except for Margaret.
Then, yeah, Margaret, he's still keeping
Okay, so
in
you're
the same-
talking about prior conduct
go to the crime
and
scene. Go to
post-death
the thing.
conduct, but you're not talking about the death. You
Okay.
want to talk about everything around it, but you don't have any evidence of the death.
Yes, I
Go to
have
the
to go to
tub.
the crime scene.
No, just go to the tub. Go to the tub.
We're going to meet a drowning investigator that Nancy and Christine reached out to. She said, you want to go to the tub? She says she is 99% sure she knows what happened to Margaret. We're going to add her to the conversation when we come back. That'll get you to the moment. We'll be right back.
Nancy and Christine have tried to buy my wife's ashes. They were going to give me $10,000. I don't know why they want my wife's ashes. They feel that the Christian thing to do is put her with her mother. It's not what Peggy wanted. Peggy wanted to be cremated and put in a flower bed. I still have Peggy's ashes. They're downstairs in a safe. This is my gun safe. This is my wife's ashes. This is what is costing me my life because they're trying to kill me over these ashes. These people have to stop. My wife, safe in a safe. See you getting that one, girls.
Well, according to police investigators, Kelly's wife, Margaret, died from accidental drowning in 2011. Now, Margaret's best friends, Nancy and Christine, he says they were not her best friends, they believe that the police didn't do a thorough investigation, so they have taken it upon themselves to figure out what they think really happened. They think Kelly killed Margaret. They've even asked a homicidal drowning investigator who worked on the Drew Peterson case, Andrea Zafaris, to help them look into the mysteries.
In my opinion, I believe Margaret was killed that night by Kelly. When I looked at the pictures of Margaret in the bathtub, the scene looked very staged to me. It looked unnatural, and there were signs of struggle. So you had red flags, staging, altered scene, signs of struggle.
What position is she in?
Your head actually has to be on your knees.
Oh,
And your arms would have to be under the water.
right, like this.
Right. So you're not even in her position because she literally had her head on the bottom of the tub.
Right.
As of right now, it does not work, but until we actually get a naked woman of her size.
The exact dimensions.
Right.
It doesn't work.
The problem is that the cops walk in with the assumption of drowning, and there's no medical test for drowning. If she had been found dead in the basement, it would have been a completely other scene. It would have been handled a little differently. What I'm really hoping for is that we can go back and get the New York State Police, because they have tremendous resources, they have phenomenal detectives, to say, look, okay, we need to step back and let's do a reenactment and really investigate this case.
Okay, Andrea, thank you for being here. You've investigated this case. Did the police do a thorough job?
They did not do a thorough job in regards because it was assumed it was a drowning. Almost every homicidal drowning starts as an accident. The ones that end up convictions, everyone I've worked on started off as an accident. It's because law enforcement are not trained in body found in water cases. That's the first problem. So when they looked at it, oh, it's just another woman in a bathtub. And the house was messy. And then you have a husband on the outside saying, oh, look at these pills, look at the drinking. So what happened in this case is no different. As a matter of fact, this case has more red flags than some of the others we worked on. But again, it's how it was first perceived. So crime scene unit was not called in. A lot of things didn't happen. It's not their fault. They weren't trained for this type of case.
So what were the red flags?
There were a lot of them. We look at 3 different questions. 1, does it make sense the victim was in the water? Absolutely not. I interviewed several people. They said she never took baths. Even said she never took baths, number 1 to 1. Number 2, that bathroom was not used for bathing or showers. She used a different bathroom.
No,
That
no,
water,
that was her bathroom.
One of the things we'd like to see is Christine. Again, I'm impartial. I'm doing this pro bono for the New York State Police. I'm totally impartial. I just want to get to the truth. Next, the hair clip. She had a hair clip in, but most of the hair was disheveled out of it. In my experience, that is a sign of a struggle. The homicide bathtub cases I've looked at, when the hair is either not up or most of it's out of the clip. How did it get out of the clip? Her position, I've only seen, I've looked at hundreds of bathtub drownings, I've looked at the data from over 1,000 bathtub cases. I have only seen a position similar to that one time, and it's another case that's being looked at as a homicide. So that's a red flag. Where is the towel? Where there was possible signs of a struggle, the towel rack was ripped off the wall, and there was a bar from the towel rack across the tub. So there's a lot of red flags that need to get investigated. These cases, you can't just wait for a confession because you're not going to get one. These are masters of deception, domestic violence abusers. So what we need is a kind of a fresh start.
Did you just accuse me of domestic violence?
Yes.
You're wrong.
The bruises she had on her, she had some of them prior to that were witnessed that morning. But from homicidal drownings I've worked on, you usually have very minor bruising. Hers matched what we see on these cases. So we had issues with the scene, issues with her body, her position, and the last thing is, anyone who's ever worked domestic violence cases, the highest risk for homicide is on the day that there's a separation that's supposed to happen, on the day that the wife is starting to take control. She had her papers pulled out of her belongings, and 3, admitted she was drinking, so she's less inhibited. Right? And 4, we know there was a fight because he admitted that they had a fight that morning. So you have the 4 highest risk conditions, and is it just a huge coincidence that she ends up dead on the day of the highest risk?
Oh, in your fantasy
and it's an
world,
equivocal
lady.
death,
In your
meaning
fantasy world.
without a really thorough investigation,
You've got
you're
it
not going to
going
get
on.
accused. I don't deal in fantasy, I deal in facts.
What you came up with is supportive of reopening this case
Yes, sir.
and do a more thorough investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it too late?
It's not too late.
You mentioned about domestic violence. You said, is she asking about domestic violence?
She just accused me
Did
of
she
domestic
accuse you of
violence.
domestic vience? You've had quite a history with domestic violence,
Sure.
actually, haven't
Until
you?
2000, yes.
If you look at your rap sheet, 83 struck woman with fist, 84 struck woman with fist, 85.
Oh, no, there was once with a fist.
Well,
I don't know where you get your information.
I'm going
but
through
it's-
the affidavits here.
It's fine,
that
but it wasn't struck with a fist.
have
Where's the
been-
convictions? Are there convictions on the other end?
Well, I'll give you this since you
Okay.
can read. I'm just telling you what the affidavit said. And then it goes on here, as you say, up through 2000, an affidavit where you are accused of a woman of cheating. You slapped her face. She fell on the floor. You picked her up, threw her against the wall, punched, kicked, slapped several times.
No punch.
I'm just telling you what the affidavit
That's
said.
fine, but there's no punch.
I'm just telling you what the affidavit
Sure.
said. So it's not just totally off the wall. There is a history.
Yeah, I see that.
Right.
I'm well aware of that.
Well, I'm sure you are, but I mean, you responded like, moi? Like,
No, once punched. Once.
Okay.
I punched one woman once. There was a 9-month anger management course, which I learned quite a bit at. I would much rather pick up my stuff and leave than to fight or kill someone.
yeah. Do you think you've been pretty quick to anger here today?
Somewhat. I don't like having caustic substances thrown in my face to begin with.
Yeah.
I
That
didn't
didn't
kill my
happen here.
wife.
That didn't happen here today.
No, day's not over, though. You don't know what these two are capable. They're not going to stop. You heard them say they're not going to stop.
So
Are
you're
they-
in jail.
I have no reason to go to jail,
Are they
Nancy.
breaking the law
Yes, they are.
in their harassment of you?
Yes.
You think they've assaulted you?
Yes.
Or at least conspiracy to have this happen?
It's
hired
attempted
somebody?
murder.
Why have they not been charged?
I don't know.
Have
The
you
police are
felt-
working on it.
Yeah, you said you've passed 2 polygraphs. Who administered them to you?
New York State Police, and I did one yesterday. Well, I don't know the results of yesterday's, but I didn't do anything, so.
You took a polygraph here?
Yes.
With Jack Tremarco. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Nancy and Christine believe that Kelly was having an affair while Kelly was married to what they describe as their best friend, Margaret, a claim that has been denied. They say Margaret found out about the affair and was getting ready to kick Kelly out of their house. But instead, Margaret was found dead in a bathtub, and Nancy and Christine think Kelly killed her. You deny that.
Absolutely.
And you took a polygraph with Jack Tremarco.
Yes, I did.
How did that go, by the way? How did you find Mr. Tremarco?
Oh, it's an exceptional man. Exceptional man.
And the results are in this envelope. Would you like to know what they are?
Sure.
I have not seen what's in this envelope. Jack is a former FBI agent. He has conducted polygraphs for everybody, different government agencies, Homeland Security, FBI. He is a polygraph trainer, educator. He has the highest credentials that you could possibly have. You found him to be a gilt-edged professional, I
Yes,
assume?
very professional.
Jack, did the test go well?
About midway through the exam, Kelly started to answer the question, did you kill Peggy? And did you kill your wife Peggy during August 2011? Emotion was getting involved in his answer, and he became more forceful in his no. And so I stopped things. I cautioned him about that. He acknowledged that he was doing that. And so we went to a silent nod test, which just simply means instead of answering verbally, he nodded very discreetly no or yes to the questions that were in the test format. That took care of that problem.
Okay, so you believe it was a valid result?
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm going to find the result and read it, and you're okay with me doing that?
Have at it.
And the questions were, did you kill Peggy? Answered, no. Did you kill your wife Peggy during August 2011? Answered, no. The results of the polygraph were that the answers no to the two above questions revealed deception. So in other words, your findings were that Kelly was not telling the truth when he said he did not kill his wife.
That's exactly right.
That is your finding.
It is.
Was this a close call?
No.
How so?
With this particular format and this particular scoring system, Kelly would have needed a -4 or above to fail this test, and my final calculation was -15.
Yeah.
So it was not a close call.
It was not close.
Do you have confidence in the finding?
Absolute confidence.
Okay. And what do you say about that?
I find it hard to believe.
Well, but
When he was asking the question, did you kill your wife? I'm tired of being told I killed my wife. I did not kill my wife. I did not kill my wife. I had nothing to do with the death of my wife.
but this polygraph suggests otherwise.
Sure, this is my second one. The other one I passed.
I knew Mr. Tremarco was the one to give. I've watched this show many a times.
Good
and I
for
knew
you.
it was
You
Mr.
know
Tremarco.
so much. Yeah.
And you know what? I trust that man.
Good.
And you know what? He called you out. You are what you are. You're a liar. You're a liar. And you killed him.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so who's tested? If it came back that he was telling the truth,
Then you would walk off?
absolutely not. I'd still continue. But you know what?
You-
The
you-
truth.
she's going to continue.
But it
What, till I
wouldn't.
get a bullet in my head?
No, until you're in jail.
So you're in jail.
Well, today we've been talking about a very impassioned dispute between the very dear friends of someone that believes that their friend has lost their life through foul play. And they are on a mission, they are impassioned, and you may be in a similar situation. But let me tell you something. I am a strong believer in law and order and the law enforcement community, and I'm a strong believer in our court system. And look, it's not a perfect system, but I'm going to tell you it's the best system in the world. And you don't want to get involved in vigilante justice. If you think you're right, use the system. Use the system, and sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So you might need to write letters. You might need to do things to draw attention, to turn a bright light on over a dispute or a situation that you think needs further attention. Yeah, I tried to keep a civil discussion and a balanced discussion here today, so hopefully we'll get some progress on this. For information on today's show, log on to drphil.com. I'll be looking on Facebook and Twitter. I'm sure you'll have a lot of comments. Thanks for being here today. So long. Thanks, Joe. Thank you so much. Thanks, Joe.